they can actually become the buyer agent. So when people submit offers through their own website, and they actually will be representing this person and become the buyer agent, so they can actually get more deals through that way.
Isn't it just the best when a software comes out that makes your life easier, makes you more money, and by the way, it's free? Well, welcome to Stessa, today's best ever sponsor. Stessa is a smarter income and expense tracking software for property owners. It allows you to track, manage, and communicate the performance of your real estate assets. So basically, it helps you make more money by looking at your properties in one dashboard. It's a beautiful dashboard, by the way. And it shows you the KPIs, the key performance indicators that you care about. What's the value? How much cash flow are you getting? What's the debt that you have on the properties? What are you bringing in monthly? What are you bringing in annually? And it allows you to have a quick snapshot, not only of your properties, but also come tax time, it's a breeze because you can scan receipts and invoices directly from the phone app, and Stessa will automatically read and categorize them for you. No more data entry. It's been talked about in Forbes, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and all it takes is just a few minutes to add your properties, link the accounts, and everything updates in real time. Without Stessa, I was looking at my portfolio on an infrequent basis. I'm talking about my single-family home portfolio. I got 3 single-family homes, and I didn't realize that I had trapped equity. But if I was looking at it from a dashboard that Stessa has, then I would have realized that, hey, I got a portfolio value of X, and I've got debt on it of Y. Holy cow, look at all this trapped equity. I'm missing out. And with Stessa, that won't happen. So go to stessa.com/best ever, and it's free. It's free. Stessa.com/best ever. Best ever listeners, how you doing? Welcome to the best real estate investing advice ever show. I'm Joe Fairless. This is the world's longest running daily real estate investing podcast. We only talk about the best advice ever. We don't get into any of that fluffy stuff. With us today, Chao, Cheng-Shorland. How you doing, Chao?
Hi, good, Joe.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and welcome to the show. A little bit about Chao. She is the co-founder and CEO of Shelter Zoom Corporation, and they are the first real estate technology company to deliver a blockchain-based real estate offer and acceptance platform to the mass market. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but Chao's going to tell us. She's based in New York City. So with that being said, Chao, you want to give the best ever listeners a little bit more about your background and what your company does?
Yeah, sure. So blockchain is really a very new technology, and it's like a distributed ledger technology. So it's very different from the traditional type of technology. So as a startup company, we're very fortunate was able to deliver a blockchain-based platform, which kind of is quite rare on the market at the moment. And our initial focus of the company was really to deliver a deal platform. So it's around a real estate offer and acceptance. So for both property purchases and property rentals. So now the company has grown a fair bit, and we're really expanding our scope way beyond just offer and acceptance. So now we're really into the end deal space. So it's really the one-stop marketplace. So people can come do their deals for real estate and for even other industries as well. And then expanding beyond, including acquire services from service providers like a legal, mortgage, title, home inspection. So all kinds of services you can acquire from our marketplace. So that's really probably the background of Shelter Zoom.
So I get blockchain as a technology, and I've interviewed people on the show. So I understand that. Help me understand your business model just a little bit more. And I think the best way to do that would be to talk about your ideal customer and how they use your platform. And that would help, in my mind, clear things up a little bit.
Yeah, we really target in the real estate space 3 groups of customers. So the first group, brokers and agents. So anyone really as a professional real estate person. So the way they can utilize our platform is they can install what we call the Offer Now and the Rent Now widget. It's like a plug-in and onto their website. Then any consumers, the buyers or renters, when they see a property they really like, they can instantly make an offer to through them. So in a way, if they are the listing agent, they can immediately receive the offer and it's a qualified leads. and then they can negotiate through our app and the chat, just track all the offer status. Then at the end, they do the deal with that particular person. But if they are not a listing agent, they can actually become the buyer agent. So when people submit offers through their own website, and they actually will be representing this person and become the buyer agent, so they can actually get more deals through that way. So other benefits, including they will reduce the paperwork dramatically, really reduce the admin costs, and it make the deal extremely efficient. And they can pretty much have all the deals on one mobile phone, and they can make the deal on the go, negotiate on the go, and also go back to all the historical record. And if they need something like after a few months, they can very easily find the deal through their mobile phone and retract what's happened at the time. So it's almost like a virtual office for them if they want to use that way. So that's the one group of audience. The other group of users, consumers. So now for the buyers and the renters or the sellers, they now have really much more control over the deal they have made or they received, because everything's going to be transparent. So they will know as a buyer where their offer is at and whether the agent viewed that, because as soon as the agent views it on our dashboard, they will see the color actually changes, the status changes, and they know exactly when the seller actually already been informed. And then they also can instantly chat with their agent through the chat feature we have. So as a blockchain technology, they also know the offer right in front of them is their own copy. It's not a copy like a centralized, and the people may have a chance to go in and manipulate something. So they can be very assured it's extremely secure. It's really tamper-proof. So that's really from the consumer side. It's really the convenience they receive from our platform. They can make an instant offer. Now, very soon, they can also procure all the services they need through different service providers in our marketplace. So that's the second group. The third group is really the service providers. So they can come in and offer their service. And it's almost like advertising their service, but instead of it's just a service as something they not really tangible, they can actually put a service as a real deal in our platform. Say, hey, I'm offering you 10% off. This is all my terms and conditions. Then the consumers or even agent can come procure those services. So these are the three major groups, but they all really fall under several categories of organizations. Even MLS, they can partner with us. Aggregators can partner with us. Franchise or technology company providing other types of products, they can utilize our platform as well.
I could see with the brokers and the consumers how it would benefit both the consumer and the broker if, well, I'll just call the consumer the buyer. So yeah. The buyer's on the agent's website, like some properties that he or she sees, and the agent has your plugin installed on their website. If I heard you correctly, that means that the buyer can utilize that plugin to make an offer immediately, and there's not nearly as much paperwork and communication back and forth. Is that accurate?
Yes, very accurate. That's right. And one of the concerns buyers or renters have is the security, because they don't really want to put on internet so much of their personal details. So that kind of explains why until now they're not much like an online purchase or rental in real estate, because it's such a large transaction. But with blockchain, that kind of concern, it really immediately goes away, because really no one can see that unless you have a private key. So it's almost like a safe. You can open it up, then see the data inside. The only people will have the key are the people in the deal. So like the seller and agent. So even us, we won't be able to see anything inside. So that really gives you the assurance their data is not going to be harvested. So they can actually really feel secure to make an online offer.
Besides security, what's been the objection you've heard most frequently in terms of adoption for your services?
I think people they not used to the concept, so many parties can come to negotiate through a online kind of app or a mobile app or web browser. So people still very kind of really inclined to the old way of practice, want to be face-to-face. So especially the older generation of brokers, they think face-to-face is more personal, which actually has been the practice for years, which definitely has benefit. But what actually people sometimes fail to see is more and more people now very comfortable with doing deals online or through internet or virtual room. So what we're creating is really a virtual room, and especially the millennial coming through, and they will have more and more money. They will be the mainstream actually buying properties or renting properties. And the older generation will be more like downgrading to the smaller size homes. And that's really when the technology will really take up. So they actually will require this kind of application to facilitate transactions. So millennials are much more comfortable with rather than going to someone's office for a couple of hours going through the paperwork. So that's really not the practice anymore.
If I'm an agent right now, which I'm not, but if I was a real estate agent and I heard this interview, if I wanted to have your plugin on my website so that people could simply go to my website with my listings and immediately make an offer on the deal, I would be able to use that plugin and make that happen. Is that correct?
Yes, it's actually really simple. They can just go to our website, shelterzoom.com, and sign up as an affiliate. As soon as they sign up, within 24 hours, we will actually give them the widget and the link as well. So even before they install the widget on their website, they either can ask to install or they can install themselves because we provide the full instructions. They already can start using that link to make an offer or share with their clients and ask them to make an offer. So it's almost instant. As soon as they sign up, they will receive the package and then they can start using that.
How do you make money?
At the moment, we're actually providing this service for free. So the first year, we're really looking for adoption, and also while we're still improving the technology and making it much more rich and robust. So from the beginning of next year, which is towards the later part of Q1, we're going to release the full stack, the marketplace. So at that point of time, we'll start charging. So there will be multiple revenues we're really looking to generate. One of them is what we call transaction. Once people actually sign the deal, then they need to pay us a fee. So we think it's very fair. If the deal doesn't happen, then they don't really need to pay a fee. But if the deal actually happens, then we actually will charge the platform fee. Then other ones like the referral. So if the service provider gets the service through our platform, our marketplace, then the service provider will pay us a small fee. So these are the two examples, and they are kind of the revenue streams. One is the technology platform, because once we actually become the license provider, we will charge a license fee for companies use our technology. So they can actually integrate and can use that as a kind of a gap filling or whatever you want to call to really fill the capability gap in their own technology landscape.
What's your best advice ever for real estate investors as it relates to your background and experience in the technology space?
That's a great question. So myself, actually from enterprise architectural background, so very much kind of business outcome driven technologist. So I actually worked in one of the largest property management funds in Australia before I came here. So that was through my own consulting company. I actually advised them on how they do the technology for such a large funds. And through that engagement, I came to realize real tech, which is a prop tech, it actually gives you far more return than the real estate asset itself. So at that point of time, I think it was back to 2015 or 16. And what they actually looked at, it was in Australia, every 7 years, you double real estate kind of the assets, right? So the value doubles. But for real tech, the last 7 years at that point of time was 1,200%. So it was just far exceeding any other real estate investment. So that was really the day I came to the realization real tech is actually very, very promising business. So now I actually in this myself, and I have seen just amazing amount of money coming into the real tech. So from venture capitals, you probably have heard of SoftBank Vision Fund, which is 100 billion. And they actually try to invest in all the high growth startups and companies like EXP, Compass. Really, the valuation have gone up so much. So obviously, a lot of those companies generate really very positive cash flow, very good return for their investors. So I think this sector is going to be really booming in the next few years. One of the research I actually did, I think they called the Global PropTech Confidence Index. And that really reached a very high level, like 8.7, if I remember correctly, 8.7 out of 10 this year. And then 96% of investors plan to make the same or more investment in PropTech over the next 12 months. So I do think the sector of the real estate is actually going to be a kind of shining star next few years.
We're going to do a lightning round. You ready for the best ever lightning round?
Yeah, sure.
All right, first quick word from our best ever partners. Finally, there's a simple way to track rental performance. Stessa, our best ever sponsor, lets real estate investors track, manage, and communicate the performance of our real estate portfolios for free. Go to stessa.com/best ever. You'll always know how your properties are performing with this dashboard. It's a beautiful looking dashboard, and it will help you save time with smarter income and expense tracking. You don't have to do any more data entry. Just upload the stuff directly from your phone. It tracks it in real time. Get organized for tax time with tax-ready financials so you can download them instantly. This thing was built by investors for real estate investors. It's been featured in all the publications you can think of. To get set up with your free account, just add your properties, link your accounts, and everything else updates in real time. Stessa.com/best ever. STESSA.com/best ever to get started. What if you could earn $10,000 per month net cash flow for life? Now you can at the Residential Assisted Living Academy. Gene Guarino teaches you how to take a single family house and turn it into a cash flow machine. Visit RALacademy.com to learn more. What's the best ever book you've recently read?
Actually, I'm more into the classical novel kind of thing. It's not really the investment related.
Yeah. What is it?
It's actually a Persian book called Shahrame, which is like all the poems. And it's their masterpiece, very similar to Chinese, the Dream of Red Chamber.
How do you spell that?
Oh, gosh. I don't know how to spell that, actually.
Oh, all right.
I didn't want to cut that part. Yeah. I actually was not prepared. Sorry.
Will you say the name of it again, please?
Shahnameh.
Shahnameh.
It's really very famous book.
Cool. What's the most rewarding part of what you're doing right now?
Oh, gee. I actually think it's extremely rewarding in my personal development and also how I see the world. And being able to manage such a large team and a very, very talented individuals. You know, we have just such an amazing, talented team and really develop everyone's career and making sure everyone's on track to deliver the company's vision. I think it has been really rewarding.
What's been the least rewarding part of what you're doing right now?
I really can't think anything least rewarding. Even the stress I have sometimes, the frustration, disappointment, it's all part of the learning experience and a part of just really the growth I need to go through and to better myself and better the technology we're going to provide. So I really don't think anything negatively. I'm a very positive person, always see the half glass full.
Spoken like a true entrepreneur. What's the best ever way you like to give back to the community? Yeah,
I'm actually really big into giving back. I do see so many homeless people from where I'm from in Melbourne. And whenever I travel around the world, I see a lot of poverty. And I really hope one day if Shelterton makes a big success, I'd love to give back a lot to the community. And another way of giving back is really continuously educating people about what's really important and develop my own team and make each of them a success.
How can the best ever listeners learn more about your company and get in touch with you?
They can go on to shelterzone.com That's our website. And also I'm in Forbes Tech Council and I write the technology for real estate. So I have my own column in Forbes. The other way of getting in touch with us is through our social media. So we have the Chao app, which is our Facebook account, and Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. So we do have quite a few social media channels people can follow.
Chao, thank you so much for being on the show, for educating me and perhaps other Best Ever listeners on the benefits of having a blockchain platform during a deal. And you talked about very specifically the brokers and agents, the benefit there with the plugin on the website, the consumer, more transparency throughout the deal, as well as the service for providers can get more business as a result of being involved. So thanks for being on the show. Hope you have a best ever day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
What if you could earn $10,000 per month net cash flow for life? Now you can at the Residential Assisted Living Academy. Gene Guarino teaches you how to take a single-family house and turn it into a cash flow machine. Visit ralacademy.com to learn more.